Hey, what's up guys? Tux here. Today we're doing a review on the Artisan Heian mousepad, which is made by Artisan Mousepads, a Japanese company. They are known for their esports mousepads, which it says on their website, and they are extremely high quality mousepads, extremely premium feeling, and they last a very long time. So yeah guys, let's get straight into the video. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video. And if you love the video and want to see more reviews from me, just hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It really helps me out and gets my videos in the recommendations. Anyway, let's jump into it. So jumping into the feeling of the mousepad. So this mousepad is interesting because it's quite a rough feeling mousepad. It's almost like a really sort of non-abrasive, smooth-ish sandpaper. Which doesn't sound good when you describe a mousepad as sandpaper, but if you've ever used the MP510, the MP510 is a rougher version of this mousepad. The MP510 is made of Cordura, I think that's how you say it, and this one's made of cloth. So they've done something pretty interesting with this mousepad to get it to feel like that, but it is made just for performance reasons. So it's not too bad on your skin. You can definitely use this without a sleeve, but I just like to use sleeves for the consistency on my skin on the mousepad. But for people with sensitive skin, I would probably recommend to stay away from this mousepad because it could irritate you over a long period of playing. But it's nothing too bad. You know, I'm happy to use this mousepad daily. It's not an uncomfortable mousepad to use. It's just got an interesting feeling to it. Just to quickly go over what an Artisan mousepad provides in terms of the quality that you get, like what it gives you over a normal mousepad. So first of all, you got this is the soft here, so you gain the extra bit of sponginess. I would say this is slightly more spongy than an average cloth pad. It's not too spongy by any means. I've never had issues where my mouse feels like it's in mud or anything like that, or I'm having issues where my mouse is dipping into the mousepad too much. So I wouldn't worry about that. Soft is definitely a good middle ground, and it gives you good stopping power and good speed and stability. As for the stitching, when you go right to the edge, now this is what I really like about the Artisan mousepads. When you go to the edge of the mousepad, your mouse doesn't even feel like it's going near the edge of the mousepad. It just kind of goes off onto the table. Like, there's nothing stopping you. And the reason for that, I'm not sure if I'll be able to show it on camera. Pretty difficult, but you can see there's a slight, make sure this focuses for this. There's a slight lip there where the actual stitching sits lower than the mousepad. So that means that you're never feeling the mousepad. The stitching on the mousepad when you go to the edge, which is really nice. And also you get the bottom, I think it's silicone, but this sticks to the desk really well with the soft version and the extra soft. My mid Hayate Atsu, which I have, which will be the same for the Heian, does actually slide around a bit on the desk. If I try to move it with my hands on the mid, I can make it move. With the soft, there's no way, unless I lightly pick it up and move it, that it doesn't shift. So for an Artisan mousepad, you're getting really good quality features and attributes to the mousepad that a lot of others just can't really compete with. I think this has the best stitching of any mousepad I've ever used. As for the speed and the actual feel to the mouse, let me just start by saying something about this mousepad. They've got like a special sauce, I like to say. It just I don't know why, I just feel like I can aim extremely confidently. And I hit so many of my shots on this mousepad without overthinking it. Like, you know, when you get a mousepad and you have to think about aiming and hitting your shots. With this mousepad, I just flick my hand and it just lands on their head. I don't know how to explain it. Shit on. They've got the attributes of this mousepad, you know, the speed to stopping power. This seems to be really fine-tuned and well for a faster pad like this. Like, you've got the speed. This is definitely on the faster end of pads I've used. It's not as fast as like a Glide 38. It's probably around the same speed as like a ROG Scabbard, if you've ever used that pad before. It's very similar in speed to that, I would say, but it has so much more stopping power. Just something about it is just like, it's not too much stopping power so that when you're trying to go for micro adjustments, you feel like you're getting stuck, or like you're feeling like it's muddy or anything like that when you try to flick, like it's not grabbing onto you. It's there enough to assist you in your shots. And as soon as I started using this mousepad, I had a smile on my face, because when I first ordered it, I thought, nah, write it off. I've heard it's really fast. There's no point even, giving it too much of a thought. I'll try it for a couple of days, and then I'll do a review on it, and I might sell it or something. But after trying this is a real contender for my highest performing mousepad I've ever used, I would say. So if you're coming from a slower pad, because I usually use cloth pads, going to something like this is definitely going to be a big step up in speed. For the first week, I would say you're going to feel like it's quite fast still. But after that first week, it starts to slow down and then it settles into itself. And then after that first week, it's a nice mix of speed to stopping power. And I think that you adapting to the pad and also the pad slowing down slightly, when you both sort of meet up in the middle there, that's when this mouse pad is just, it just comes alive. You just really feel like you can hit everything. And it will stay that speed after the first week or 2 weeks or so of wearing it down, depending how much you use it. It will stay that speed then for years. So it's a long-lasting mouse pad, and it, as a performer, it's, wow, it's one of my favorites. Just quickly giving you guys a glide test. This is the G Pro Superlight, which is actually about 58 grams because I don't have the plate on the bottom. And it's also running core pads on there currently. So one thing I'd like to say about this mouse pad is it does have a difference in X and Y, which means that the Y axis, which is this way, is slower than the X axis. Now you can feel it. It's not huge, but it's there. With the mid, I've heard it's a lot more extreme, so I would probably stay away from the mid in the Heian. But the soft and extra soft both have, you can see when I throw my mouse this way, it seems to just slow down a bit more. And when you're moving your mouse up and down, you can feel a bit more friction there, whereas left to right feels a little bit less so. So for games like CSGO and Val, I actually think this might assist a little bit in your aim because there's less deviation there. When you flick, it's almost keeping your hand in a straight line rather than going up and down. Whereas for games that are more vertical, say games like Overwatch, Apex Legends, maybe Fortnite, but I have tried this on Fortnite and it feels absolutely fine because it's not a big deal. The X and Y is not a big deal, but I feel like it does assist a little bit in games like CS and Val, whereas in Fortnite and Overwatch and Apex and other games, you might have to adapt a little bit to it more because it's not going to be as fast as your X axis. Also, the mousepad has no coating on it, which is great because what that means is when you wash the mousepad, it's not going to wash away that coating, so it won't feel a lot different than when you have first got the mousepad. Also, with mousepads like the GSR SE, which have a coating on, if you didn't know, a lot of the faster cloth pads do, what you will find is that in the one spot that you use the mouse a lot more, it will wear away that coating faster, which means you'll have a much bigger difference between the center of the mousepad to your edges, where the edges will feel faster and the center will be slower. With the Artisan Heian, your experience will be, in the first couple weeks, you'll feel like it's quite fast. You'll feel like it's almost too fast for you, especially if you're coming from a cloth pad, but then it sort of wears into itself and it becomes a much more reasonable difference between control and speed. So yeah, just give it a couple weeks when you first get it, because out of the box, it does feel extremely fast, but that will change over the first couple weeks, and then it will stay like that for a very long time. Okay guys, so now let's just compare the new Hayate Otsu in soft, which came out about 2 to 3 months ago now. Actually, I think it was about 3 or 4, compared to the Heian in soft. So the Hayate Otsu is definitely a smoother surface. It definitely feels like a smoothed out Heian because the speeds are very similar. I would say this one is probably about 10% slower than the Heian, but I would say that the Heian definitely does not feel too fast. They're both fast pads, but they don't feel too fast. I would say the Hayate Otsu feels faster. For some reason, I can tell the Heian is faster, but when I'm aiming, I feel like the Hayate Otsu is faster, and I don't know why. I feel like the Heian almost holds your mouse a little bit more, and the Hayate Otsu gives you a bit more freedom. It's very hard to describe. I feel like the roughness assists your aiming with the Heian, whereas the smoothness gives you a slightly more icy feeling. It's not icy, but it just feels a little bit more free. Whereas on a mouse pad like this, the roughness almost just allows you just to snap into place and stop where you want to. Whereas this one feels more like I want to move my mouse in a way, and then it's very hard to describe, but I'll go into it more in depth when I do the Artisan Hayate Otsu review, which will be coming out soon. But I wanted to get the Heian up first because I feel like the Heian is the pad that a lot of people know Artisan for, and I feel like it's a good starting point to compare the rest of the pads to. So now I've got the Zero Soft on my desk, which is known as the Artisan Cloth Pad. The reason it's known as the Artisan Cloth Pad is because it's much more similar in speed to your usual cloth pads like your GSR SE, your Logitech G640, I believe it is, and like your Glorious pads and stuff like that. It is on the faster end of those cloth pads, so it is definitely faster than your average cloth pad, but it's nowhere near as fast as like a Heian or a Hayate Otsu. In terms of raw speed, I wouldn't say these are much faster, but they just, because of the lower initial friction, the way they feel on the mouse, they don't seem to grab onto your mouse as much as a Zero does. The Zero is a softer feeling mouse pad. it does feel more like a cloth pad. They've done a few things to the Zero to make it lower initial friction, but you can really feel the mouse pad grabbing onto you when you're moving your mouse, giving you that extra bit of control, that extra bit of precision maybe in CS and Valorant, games like that. But the Heian just allows you to be free. I feel like the Heian is more like one of those pads where if you're a really experienced aimer and you're very good at controlling your mouse, I feel like the Heian might be better for you. The Zero is still a great mouse pad because what you'll see with like CSGO and Valorant and stuff like that, players generally gravitate towards a control pad more because it's almost like you're less likely to make a mistake. Because once you put an input with your hand and your mouse on a Heian, it's going to listen to you. It's going to let you do that. Whereas the Zero almost grabs onto your mouse pad more and tries to steer you in the right direction of where it thinks it wants you to go. Whereas if you're trying to make like small micro adjustments and you want to make that 1 millimeter adjustment for that headshot, this is going to allow you to do that. Whereas this one, you almost feel like you have to drag it out of that position to allow you to hit those shots, which gives you a more conventional cloth pad feeling. Some of you that are using a cloth pad now might be like, what the hell is he talking about? Because I was using a cloth pad for so long and I didn't know what one of these pads felt like. It feels very free and allows you to do what you wanted to do, but still gives you a little bit of assistance. Whereas this one, I feel like you're almost 50-50 with the pad. The pad is helping you and you're sort of directing the mouse on the pad. So I think someone who has elite mouse control will prefer a Heian or one like a Hayate Otsu. Whereas someone who maybe plays Hisense or someone who plays maybe like a fingertip grip or something like that, maybe not even a fingertip grip. I don't want to give wrong opinions, like wrong directions here on which mouse pad to go for, but they're both very different mouse pads. They offer different things. This one is more of a conventional cloth pad. This one feels closer to a hybrid pad. So let's jump straight into the cost for the mouse pad, because it is definitely on the expensive side for a mouse pad, but you do pay for the premium quality and the long-lasting effects of this mouse pad. So you're going to be looking at about 4,400 yen, and you're going to be paying import tax and shipping on top of that. So you're looking at about, for me at least, with the import tax, it was about 60 to 70 pounds because I'm from the UK. So it is definitely on the expensive side, but like I said before, it's premium. It's going to last you between 1 to 3 years, which is quite long for a mouse pad. And if you take care of it, it's going to last you on the upper end of that spectrum. So yeah, that's what you're looking at in terms of Artisan mouse pad. They generally restock these mouse pads weekly. So if you just refresh the page or check up on their website every now and again, you'll be able to find a couple that are in stock. So guys, I hope that helped you make your decision on the new mouse pad if you're deciding between an Artisan mouse pad or other mouse pads. Something like this is going to last you a long time. It's extremely premium. It feels good to play on. You feel confident. And you know that when you're playing on a mouse pad like this, it's going to be consistent from day-to-day usage. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but these aren't affected as much by humidity. So if you live in hot climates, it's a very good decision to buy. If you live in cold climates, it's not affected by the heat as much either. In that regard, it doesn't speed up too much. So it still is affected a little bit by the environment, but nowhere near as your usual mouse pad. And something like this is going to last you so long and be so consistent for so long that for an esports player, this is a go-to mouse pad. For someone who's competitive, again, a go-to mouse pad. I can't recommend another mouse pad over this right now if money isn't an object. But I mean, obviously money is for a lot of people. A lot of people aren't as fortunate of a position to be able to review mouse pads as I am, or review products in that regard. So if I was to say, you know, if you knew you wanted a faster mouse pad, you wanted faster than your usual cloth, or you wanted a hybrid pad, go with this one. If you're not sure, maybe head for the Zero. I'll do a full review on that one soon, so you can sort of make your decision a little bit better. I'm going to do a review on this is going to be uploaded soon, and then the Hayate Otsu next, and then the Zero. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for coming back for another video. There's going to be many more reviews. I'm going to do my 360Hz monitor soon as well. I know a lot of people want a review of that. So that will be coming out soon because it is an insane monitor. Yeah, I don't want to say too much because I want to save it for the review, but I'm really excited for that one. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you dislike it, just dislike the video. You know, it lets me know how I'm doing. If I need to improve on anything, just put it down in the comments below. And you can subscribe if you really love the videos and want to see more, and hit the notification bells. That also helps out the algorithm, gets me on more recommended pages and stuff like that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Peace out.